Hello, welcome to the Gregory C. This is December 24th, 2019. I'd like to talk about NASA's spacesuits today. So here we have an article from NASA from September 16th, 2008, which is about 50 years after the Apollo mission landed on the moon, supposedly. And let's take a look at the article. So they have a picture here of, I think this is the Mercury 7. Gus Grissom was included in this group. Gus Grissom was one of the 3 astronauts that died on the launching pad after hanging lemon on the spacecraft in front of the media. So this is an old photo here. You can look at the spacesuits here. This is a spacesuit from, I think it's Apollo 11. We scroll down. This last photo here, we're looking at the quote from NASA says, NASA is testing ideas for spacesuits that could be worn on the moon. So 50 years after we supposedly walked on the moon, they're trying to figure out how to get spacesuits that they can use in space. I think that's interesting. So we'll look at here is a history of some spacesuits. I don't have these in particular order, but you can take a look. This is one. This is the EVA-12. This has some sort of pack on the front and the air coming in to the spacesuit. Understand that if you're in outer space and you have to breathe oxygen, the spacesuit must be hermetically sealed or sealed from air so that you can breathe inside the spacesuit. This is one from Apollo 1. Understand the airport here is coming in on the chest. So again, the entire spacesuit must be hermetically sealed in order to get air from this chest region up into your mouth. So the whole spacesuit must be, in fact, sealed. You can see the cuffs here on his hands are sealed. Not sure what mission this is from, but again, just looking at some of the more recent spacesuit technology. This one here, this is from the Gemini 8. You see a big pack on the back and on the front, and a bunch of accessories, tubes going in and out of the chest, etc. So what do the spacesuits have to protect from? So if we talk about the temperature on the moon, this is from space.com, and they say that the temperature on the moon in the dark, or when it's not in the sun, can reach minus 280 degrees Fahrenheit, and in the sun can reach 260 degrees Fahrenheit. So understand, if you're in the shade, and you're going to need a heater to heat you up from negative 280 degrees Fahrenheit to keep you alive. And if you're in the sun, you're going to be at plus 260 degrees Fahrenheit. So you're going to need an air conditioning system in outer space on the moon. So these are the old, I think this is Gemini 7. Again, this photo includes Gus Grissom in here. I'm not sure which astronaut he is. But just look at these spacesuits. Again, look at the boots. They're wearing lace-up boots, which obviously are not hermetically sealed. You see some of these air tubes coming in. I'm not sure where they enter the suit. Probably somewhere on the back. It's hard to tell from here. Or maybe there's this port here on the front. It's really hard to tell. And then next, this is from the Center for Informed America website. This is Dave McGowan's page. Dave McGowan is no longer with us, but he's a journalist and researcher. I encourage you to go look at his series called Wagging the Moon Doggy. It's very informative. You can listen to it or you can read it. But again, let's just scroll down and look at the evolution of the spacesuit. I mean, look at this guy. Would you want to wear that in outer space in an area that could vary by 500 degrees Fahrenheit and is in a complete vacuum? Again, look at the airport here. It comes in on the waist. This is where you breathe from. So the whole suit's going to need to be hermetically sealed. Getting into more modern suits. Similar story here. Just looking at the evolution of technology. Here's a more recent suit. Again, the air's coming in on the chest. The whole suit must be hermetically sealed, and you can see the cuffs which seal and where the helmet seals here at this ring. And it looks like these boots are pretty well integrated into the suit. This, I'm not sure what prototype this is. I don't think they ever used this on a mission. This is, again, the picture we saw from the first NASA website from 2008, where NASA is trying to find a new device which they can use on the moon. And it honestly looks like he's just using combat boots that are strapped into his suit here, which is interesting. And then this is an old prototype. I think it was for Gemini that they never used. So understand, if you're in outer space, which is a complete vacuum, and you're in a spacesuit, which is hermetically sealed, which means it's sealed from the air, when you exit the spacecraft and you're in a vacuum, this suit, if it's sealed to the air, imagine what would happen if you blew up a balloon in the standard atmosphere, on the sea level, 14.7 psi. You put it in a vacuum chamber, suck all the air out of the vacuum chamber. What would happen to the balloon? So you've got 14.7 psi inside the balloon, 0 psi outside the balloon. The balloon would expand. So you understand these spacesuits, once you enter outer space, or once you're walking on the moon, they would have to blow up like a balloon. I'd imagine it'd be hard to function in them. Not to mention that you'd have to withstand, if you're in the sun, you'd be in an environment that is up to 260 degrees Fahrenheit. So you'd have to carry an air conditioner and batteries to run the air conditioner. You'd also have to have simultaneously a heating system depending on when you were walking on the moon. And you'd have to have batteries to run this. So imagine the amount of batteries they'd have to carry. And the batteries would have to function on the outside of the suit in up to 260 degrees Fahrenheit. So just things to think about. Think about whether or not you could go in this thing in outer space. Thanks for your time.